morning, students. Very good morning to one and all. Today in GATE class, we are going to discuss about the DC motor. We all know that what is DC motor? DC motor is a electromechanical device which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. This is the device explanation. That is what is meant by DC motor. DC motor is nothing but it is a electromechanical device. We just like that we should not say it is a device or anything. We have to say it is a electromechanical device because electromechanical conversion is going to happen here. That's why we are saying it is a electromechanical device which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. Then we have to concentrate on the laws. What are the laws? DC motor is governing with. So we all know that DC motor is governed with Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. What is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? When a current carrying conductor is kept in between a magnetic field, what will happen? Magnetic field interaction will begin. That is, there will be a magnetic field interaction. Because of the magnetic field interaction, what will happen? The magnetic field interaction has happened in the stator. Stator is a magnetic field, magnetic area. Because of this, the rotating part armature or rotor tends to rotate. That rotation leads to torque. That rotation is because of electromotive force. That electromotive force leads to the torque production. Because of the torque production, speed improves. Or this is the working of DC motor. That is a principle followed by DC motor is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. When a current carrying conductor is kept in between a magnetic field, flux generated in the magnetic field. Because of the flux, the rotating part rotor tends to rotate in such a direction because of EMF. That EMF leads to the production of torque. Because of the torque production, speed develops. This is the principle of DC motor. This is called Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. After the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it is following Fleming rules. Fleming hand rule it is following. We must know Fleming right hand rule or Fleming left hand rule is dedicated to DC motor. That must be an important question in GATE. We must aware which hand rule it is following. Then the third law it is following is Lenz's law. Lenz's law, we all know that it is a opposition law. We all know that it is a opposition law. Because of this only, we are getting a back EMF. It is called a back EMF. Okay, with a small introduction of DC motor, let's start DC motor MCQs for the GATE preparation. First question, no load speed of which of the following motor is highest? That is, at no load, that is without load, which of the following motor is speed? The speed of which motor is highest? Differentially compound motor, cumulative compound motor, series motor, shunt motor. We have to say the explanation. That is what motor? Anyone? No load speed. Which motor? No load speed is highest. We must aware. Which motor? I'll show you the explanation. Series motor. I have given the explanation also because we all know that series motor should not start without load. We all know that series motor should not start without load. At the time of starting, flux is very less in DC series motor. So as we know, the inverse relationship between speed and the flux, that is, we all know that speed and flux are inversely proportional. So flux decreases, what will happen to the speed? speed increases, because we all know that at the starting time flux is very less in DC series motor. Then the second point is that second concept is speed and flux are in what? Inversely proportional. Because of the inversely proportional, what will happen? The flux decreases, the speed increases. Therefore, what motor will have higher speed, that is more speed on no load? Now it is clear, series motor. I already said series motor, flux is very less in DC series motor, then flux and speed are inversely proportional. Because of this relationship, we could judge series motor is having a higher speed at no load. Without no load, series motor will act with a high speed motor. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Which of the following load normally need starting torque more than the rated torque? We all know that normal torque and rated torque. Normal torque is what? Normal torque is nothing but, that is, for example, 1500 is fixed. That fixed one is called a rated torque. The 1500 is called a what? Rated torque. Below that you are getting something. It's a normal torque. For example, human being weight will be 100 kg means that is a rated. Our weight will be 75 or 80, that is a normal. Like that, each and every machine is having a specific rated torque and normal torque. Which of the following load? They are asking about the load. If you are giving some load, which of the following load is having a high starting torque? That is normal starting torque more than the rated torque. We have to say conveyor, blower, centrifugal pump, air compressor. What will be the option? Let's see an explanation also. Conveyors. Why we are selecting the conveyor load will have a normally need a starting torque more than the rated torque. For example, 1500 mean it need more torque than that. Why conveyors need? I'll show the explanation. Starting torque is also called the locked rotor torque. It is also called as what? Locked rotor torque. And the motor current at this point is referred as locked rotor current. The starting torque is known as locked rotor torque. The current is known as locked rotor current. At this stage, the rotor reactance is higher than its resistance as the rotor frequency. Because of that is it having a equal supply frequency. Starting torque is the amount of torque required to overcome the inertia of standstill motor. Standstill motor means if your motor is at rest, it needs some starting torque. That is, it needs some initiation to start the motor. Starting torque is the amount of torque required to overcome the inertia of a standstill motor. Okay, let's talk about why the conveyor load they have chosen. Conveyor require high starting torque because the material is placed before the starting of the conveyor belt. The material we are using for the conveyor make this load as a high efficient. So obviously we require more torque to overcome the load at the starting point. So obviously for a conveyor, because of the material made up of, we need what? We need more torque to overcome the load at the starting period. Therefore, conveyor require high starting torque and constant speed. That is high starting torque. It need conveyor belt or there, so it need more starting torque comparing to the other loads, and constant speed also it required. Series motor is suitable for conveyor belts operating in a particular region of its torque speed characteristics. Series motor, this conveyor belt can be used in series motor with a particular region torque speed characteristics. In industries, we are not using series motor, we are taking the help of BLDC along with this conveyors. So conveyor is the good, that is example for this question. What is the question? Which of the following load normally needs starting torque more than the rated torque? Answer will be conveyors. Answer will be conveyors. These are the explanations. Then let's move on to the third one. Which of the following rule is used to determine the direction of rotation of DC motor? Which of the following rule is used? Determine the direction of rotation of DC motor. Rotation of DC motor is determined with what law? Already I said this rule is very important before starting this session. Coulomb's law, Lenz's law, Fleming right hand rule, Fleming left hand rule. What will be the answer? The answer will be let's see the explanation. Okay, let's see the explanation. Fleming left hand rule. Fleming left hand rule will be dedicated to DC motor. In this meanwhile, I'll say Fleming right hand rule will be dedicated to DC generator. So DC motor, which determines the rotation, which determines the direction of rotation of DC motor? Fleming's left hand rule. So you must be aware about hand rule. Fleming left hand rule dedicated to DC motor, right hand rule dedicated to generator. This is the diagram for the above question. You can see the thumb finger is a thrust of motion, the forefinger is a field, the middle finger is a current. This is the Fleming left hand rule diagram to explain these things. Next one, that is Fleming left hand rule is explained in question 4. You can see what I said, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction is very important. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction is very important. When a current carrying conductor such as wire attached to a circuit move place. For example, when a current carrying conductor such as a wire, they are taking the wire as an example. We can take any example for the current carrying conductor. That any material must be a conducting material that should help to bypass the current. When a current carrying conductor such as wire attached to a circuit moves placed in a magnetic field, an electric current is induced in the wire due to Faraday's law of induction. The right hand is held up. We can see the right hand. The right hand is held up with the thumb, first finger, second finger mutually perpendicular to each other. So you can see what are the fingers pointing. Thumb is pointed the motion of the conductor. Thumb is pointed the motion of the conductor. Then the forefinger is pointed the direction of magnetic field. The middle finger represents the direction of induced or generated current within the conductor. This is the explanation of your Fleming left hand rule. Next, which part of the DC motor can sustain maximum temperature rise? We all know that when a machine starts to work, what will happen? The machine's rotating part will suffer with a huge amount of heat. That is, they are asking which part of the DC motor can sustain. Sustain means withstand. Which part will withstand maximum temperature rise? They have given the options armature winding, field winding, slip ring and commutator. We can see we are having roughly tough tie between armature winding and commutator. We can see what will be the option, commutator. Here we are going to see the explanations. Commutator. The commutator is made up of copper segments. We all know that commutator is what we have to know. That will be asked in the upcoming questions. The commutator is made up of copper segments. The copper segment is insulated from each other with the help of mica. This copper segment is insulated from each other with the help of mica. We all know that because it is having a each and every conducting material should not be kept openly without insulation. In that case, what will happen? If you do like this, what will happen? Each and every one, the contact will be not not safety. So you can you have to insulate. Mica has a very high dielectric stress of 1180 kV per centimeter, and the next best is diamond. Next best is diamond. What is the next insulating material? Diamond. That is, it will have a withstand capacity. It can withstand high temperature up to 600 degrees Celsius. So commutator, not only they are explaining which part is suffering and sustaining high amount of heat, not only the commutator explanation, they are giving the insulator explanation also. We can, if the questions will be asked in the gate, we can use this also. Shall we move on to next question? The ratio of starting torque to full load torque is least. Ratio of starting torque to full load torque is least in which machine? That is starting torque and full load torque you are concentrating. Which will be least? Differential compound motor, shunt motor, series motor, cumulative compound motor. Which will have the ratio of starting torque to full load torque is least. Which is the least? Let's see the explanation. Differential compound motor. Why the differential compound motor? In the differential compound motor, two field winding, that is shunt and series winding, oppose each other. This causes a reduction in flux and consequences a decrease in torque. In the differential compound motor, two field winding, that is shunt and series winding, oppose each other. This causes a reduction in flux and consequences a decrease in torque. That's why the ratio of starting torque to full load torque is least in differential compound motor. The differential compound motor diagram is given below. You can see the differential compound motor diagram is given below. The differential compound motor, two field windings. It is having two field windings. What is a differential compound motor? It will have the combination of series and shunt windings oppose each other because both the characteristics and behavior are different. This causes a reduction in flux and consequences a decrease in torque. Next question, shall we move on? The number of pole in small DC motor. Small DC motor having what? 5 HP R. If a small, we are asking the 5 HP small DC motor is having how many poles? 2, 4, 8 or 10? Let's see the explanation. Any guess? Students, any guess? Okay, let's see. 2 poles. Why 2 poles? Small HP motor require only 2 poles because the number of poles is inversely proportional to the speed. We all know that poles are inversely, that is poles. P is equal to 1 by flux. 1 by N. That is another one. Number of poles is inversely proportional to the speed. Therefore, 2-pole motor runs at a high speed than 4-pole motor because they are inversely proportional. If you need a high speed, speed and poles are inversely proportional. So 2-pole motor has a better efficiency. We all know that. Now it is clear because poles and speed are inversely proportional. In this case, what will happen? Because of this, what will happen? Because of speed and poles are inversely proportional, we need ultimate aim is high speed. High speed is achieved when the poles are less. So 2-pole machine will give you more speed when compared to a 4-pole motor. 2-pole motor has a better efficiency. 2-pole motor has better RPM and noise performance. It will not have a high noise. That is, disturbance will not be there. Next one, the efficiency of the DC motor at maximum power. The efficiency of the DC motor at the maximum power. Next question will be the efficiency of the DC motor at maximum power. If you have a maximum power in your DC motor, what will be the efficiency? Any guess? 90%, 100%, around 80%, less than 50%. What will be the guess? What is efficiency? Efficiency is nothing but output power by input power. Output power by input power. They are asking the efficiency of the DC motor at maximum power is what? Let's see. Less than 50% because they are asking at maximum power. We have to concentrate on this clue word maximum power. At maximum power. At maximum power, it is less than 50%. Why efficiency of DC motor is below 50%? We have to talk about that, right? These are the explanations. The DC motor develops maximum power when the back EMF is half the applied voltage. So practically it is not possible to develop an exact 50% of maximum power, because in that case the current would be much beyond the rated current of the motor. That is, at the maximum power we could not get better efficiency. That is the explanations they have given. Some of the energy is wasted in the form of heat and other losses. Therefore, motor efficiency is below 50%. Motor efficiency is below 50%. Next question. Hope this is clear for you. We can move on to next question. You can see the explanation for 1 minute. Okay, we'll pass on to next question. In which of the following application DC series motor is used? They are going to show you some application. We have to guess by thinking about the DC series motor principle. DC series motor working, we have to think and we have to concentrate what is the application. Centrifugal pump, motor operation in DC AC, water pumper drive, starter for car. Maximum, we'll see the explanation. Starter for the car. Why we have to concentrate on the explanation? They have given some application and they are asking you which application is suitable for DC series motor. Centrifugal pump, motor operation in DC and AC, water pump drive, starter for car. They are asking the explanation. Starter for car is a answer, but in the meanwhile you have to talk about what? You have to talk about the explanation. Explanation in DC series motor, torque. DC motor torque increases. Torque will be increases when the armature current is square. When the square of the armature current, what will happen to your torque? Torque will be increased. So DC motor provides high starting torque, which is required to start a car, because you need to initiate a car with the high, that is square of the armature current. When the current fixes the square value, it will produce a torque. So this principle is similar to the DC series motor principle. Hence, we are using this in where to start a car. Next, we can move to next question. Yes. Okay. Next question. In the DC machine, the fractional pitch winding is used. In the DC machine, the fractional pitch winding is used. They are asking general DC machine, not they are mentioning motor or generator. In DC machine, the fractional pitch winding is used. What will happen in the DC machine when the fractional pitch winding is used? They have given the options to reduce the harmonic in generated EMF, improve cooling, increase EMF to reduce the copper losses. What is the explanation? Hope, any guess? No? If any guess is there, we can see the explanation, and if any changes is there also, we will concentrate. What will be the different one? Okay, let's see. To reduce harmonic in generated EMF. In DC machine, the fractional pitch is used to reduce the harmonic in generated EMF. Why? We have to talk about the explanation. We'll talk about the explanation now. In full pitched coil, that is full pitched coil, the coils are full. As one conductor of a turning coil cuts N pole, conductor will cut the N pole, other will cut what? Other will cut the S pole, that is south pole. One conductor will cut the north pole, another conductor will cut the south pole. The production of induced EMF, what will be the phase angle? The phase angle will be what? 180 degree. 180 degree, that is one coil is cutting north pole, another coil is cutting the south pole. In this case, your phase angle is what? 180 degree. What will happen now? You have to concentrate what will happen now. In short pitched coil, that is, we talk about full pitched coil. Full pitched coil, north pole cut at one coil, south pole will cut by one coil. Sorry, one conductor. In this case, phase angle is 180 degree. What will happen in short pitch? Short pitch, in short pitched coil, both conductor of the same turn don't cut the respective poles. It won't cut in short pitch coil. It won't cut the respective poles. So phase angle is slightly less than 180 degree. It is not like full pitch coil. It is getting 180 degree as a result. So the magnitude induced, what will happen to the magnitude? Magnitude will be given by the equation where E into cos n lambda by 2 is called a pitch factor. It will eliminate what? Third harmonic. That's why the question is asked to reduce in DC machine the fractional pitch winding. Fractional pitch winding is used to what? To reduce harmonic in generated EMF. I have given the explanation about full pitch coil, short pitch coil, then how it is helpful to reduce the harmonic in generated EMF. Okay, let's move on to next question. A 3-point starter is suitable for, we know the starter. What is starter? What it is called? What is meant by starter? What is starter? Starter, the 3-point starter. I'm not talking about starter. What is starter? That is the general what is starter. Starter is a device which reduce high starting current, which will protect the device from high starting current by adding up the resistor. What are the types of starter? 2-point starter, 3-point starter, and 4-point starter. We are having 3-point starter, 4-point starter, and 2-point starter. 2-point starter and all ancient method. We are used very long back. 3-point starter and 4-point starter we are having till now. We are having till now. Okay. 3-point starter is suitable for where? So the explanation. Okay, they have given shunt motor, series motor, shunt and compound, shunt series and compound. Okay. But the answer will be what? Shunt and compound motor. 3-point starter in DC shunt and compound motor serves the following purposes. Why the starter is very suitable for this? Because it limits the high starting current in the armature by having the resistance at the time of starting and reducing it during the running condition. As I already said, what is starter? Starter is a device which limits the high starting current by adding up the resistor. It also protects the motor from overload and underload voltage condition. It also protects the motor from overload and underload condition. Starter not only prevent the high starting current, it also reduces what? High overload and under voltage conditions. Let's move on to next question. Okay. Nowadays, DC motor is widely used where electric traction, air compressor, centrifugal pump, machine shop. These are all general knowledge question. We are using day-to-day life. We are using DC motor, generator, even the transformer, even charger, cell phone charger. We are using a step-down transformer. Like that, in day-to-day life, these electrical equipments and electrical devices plays a dominant role. They are asking nowadays DC motor is widely used where electric traction, air compressor, centrifugal pump, machine shop. Where we are using, any idea? DC motor converts electrical to mechanical. So what the explanation? Electric traction. Why the traction? DC series motor are used in the traction applications due to their excellent starting torque properties. Torque is directly proportional to the square of the armature, resulting in high starting torque. We need a traction, need high starting torque for up and down movement. So DC series motor are used in traction application due to their excellent starting torque. DC series motor is having what? Excellent starting torque it is having. So torque is directly proportional to the square of the armature current, resulting in high starting torque. So electric traction we are using this one. Next question. Which motor has the least percentage increase in input current for the same percentage increase in torque? They have given some motors. You have to concentrate least percentage increase input current for the same percentage increase in torque. The options will be separately excited motor, series motor, shunt motor, compound motor. What will be the answer? Which DC motor has the least percentage increase in input current for the same percentage increase in the torque? We'll see the explanation. Series motor. Why especially series motor? We are having the four options that to a motor family, separately excited, series, shunt, compound. We are having the same family member, but the series motor gains the importance. Why? The explanation is here. In DC series motor, both field and armature windings carries the same current from the source. Both are connected in series. Therefore, torque is directly proportional to the product of the current in the field and the armature winding. DC series motor, what will happen? Field and armature carries the same current because they are in series connection. So, IA is equal to IL is equal to ISC. We know IA, armature current, is equal to load current is equal to series current. We know. Therefore, torque is directly proportional to the product of the current in the field and the windings. For a given source, current produce square of this current. So even there is a low current change, the torque change is great because it will compensate. All they are in series. So it will compensate. Next one. By looking at which part of the motor we can identify DC motor. We are having some parts. By looking at which particular part of the motor we can identify DC motor. Shaft, field winding, commutator, armature winding. What will be the thing? What will be the explanation? Commutator, because commutator, always the commutator is considered as a hero of the DC motor and DC generator family because it plays a dominant role. We will see the explanation. The question is what? By looking at which particular part of the motor we can identify DC motor. By seeing this part, we can say this is a DC motor because construction wise, DC motor and DC generator is same. So, by seeing this part only, we can say this is a DC motor, this is a generator. The answer is commutator. Explanations. The commutator converts the alternating current generated in the armature current into the unidirectional current. Commutator explanation is what? Commutator converts alternating current generated in the armature, alternating current to unidirectional current. That is very important word. The commutator converts the alternating current generated in the armature into the unidirectional current. It is a mechanical rectifier. It is also known as what? Mechanical rectifier. So that the commutator collects induced EMF or current developed in the armature. It's a mechanical rectifier. So the commutator collects induced EMF or current developed in the armature. Okay. Mechanical rectifier is known as what? Commutator. What is the purpose of the commutator? The commutator converts the alternating current generated in armature into the unidirectional current. The third point, the DC motor, the commutator is used to alternate the magnetic field created by the DC current. Along with that, you have to say the importance of the commutator. In the DC motor, the commutator is used to alternate the magnetic. That is, should be any change. It needs some change because we already said alternating current is changed to unidirectional current. So some portion has to be changed with the help of some device. That device is called a commutator. If commutator explanation is asked, it is nothing but commutator is a device which converts the alternating current generated in armature into the unidirectional current. Then for AC motor, the magnetic field is already altered by the nature of the AC current. For example, in the case of AC motor, it's already converted because alternating current is already a birthplace of AC current. So we should not bother about that. So the answer will be by looking at which part we can say this is a DC motor or DC generator. Commutator part only, we can say this is a DC motor. Let's move on to the next question. Counter EMF. Counter EMF, the another name of counter EMF is back EMF. Back EMF means punching back, because there will be opposition law, as I said already, Lenz law. Lenz law is a opposition law. Counter EMF is a back EMF or punching back, that is returning back, because always the stator is disturbing the rotor with the help of by a means of a flux. So something has to be hit back the flux. That flux is hitting back the flux with the help of EMF. This EMF is known as counter EMF. It's also known as back EMF. So counter EMF of the DC motor is, you are asking, less than applied voltage, more than the applied voltage, equal to the applied voltage, none of the above. You are asking, counter EMF of the DC motor will have what of these qualities? Let's see the explanation. Less than the applied voltage, that is, it will having some standard or applied voltage. The counter EMF must be less than the applied voltage. Then only the motor runs, or else the motor will stop on, that won't run. According to the DC motor equation, we all know that IA is equal to V minus EB by RA, or else V is equal to EB plus IA is a constant equation. We all know that. From this equation, it is understood that counter EMF of the DC motor is having what? It is having less than the applied voltage. So counter EMF always will have a less voltage value when compared to the applied voltage. Let's move on to the next question. Again, the back EMF question. If the back EMF of the DC motor vanishes, that is, the punching back is totally vanishes, what will happen to the motor? The four options are: the motor continues to run, motor will stop, armature will burn, motor continues to run in slow speed. That is, once the back EMF is vanish means it was there, then it suddenly depleted. That is not deleted, it is depleted. It slowed down. One stage it will totally vanish. What will happen in this case? The motor continues to run, motor will stop, armature will burn, the motor continues to run in low speed. The armature will burn. Yes, always in a motor the back EMF should not vanish. Once the punching back is not there, what will happen? The armature part will burn out. It is also according to the V is equal to EB plus IA RA equation, because from this you could understand EB is a back EMF. What I am saying, EB vanishes, that is, EB is depleted. So put 0 for that. IA is equal to V minus 0 by RA. Anything along with a 0 in the equation will confuse the total equation. In this condition, what will happen? Totally, the equation will go to collapse. The armature will burn. So have it in your mind. Counter EMF or back EMF is vanishes at one condition. What will happen? Armature part, the rotor, the rotating part, windings will burn. Because of this only we can observe some burning smell and burning of winding. Once the back EMF is vanished or any fault in the back EMF, the motor will suffocate and the armature will burn. Let's move on to next question. Why is the speed of DC shunt motor depends on back EMF? As I already said, back EMF is a hero of a DC motor. Why the DC shunt motor is purely depends on back EMF, punching back or counter EMF? We have to concentrate for options. Because flux is proportional to the armature current, because armature drop is negligible, because back EMF is equal to the armature current, because flux is constant in DC motor. Observe and take a look of these choices for a while. Then we'll discuss what is the explanation. Because flux is constant. We already know DC motor is having a constant flux. We already know that DC shunt motor is constant flux. If the constant flux is there, flux is inversely proportional to the back EMF. So always DC shunt motor will depends on what? Back EMF. DC shunt motor will depends on back EMF. In case of DC motor, speed is directly proportional to back EMF, inversely proportional to the flux. Based on this principle, we are getting the option answer because flux is constant in DC shunt motor. Next, we move on to next question. What will happen when the field of DC shunt motor get opened while the motor is running? Once the motor is running, the field is opened. What will happen? It will be a very hazardous condition, but what the explanations they have given, continue to run at the same speed, speed of the motor will be reduced, the motor will attain a dangerous high speed, armature current will be reduced. The question is was DC shunt motor, the motor is running, suddenly the stator part, that is field part is open. What will happen to the motor? Let's see the explanation. The motor will attain a dangerous high speed. Yes, of course. Once the motor is in running condition, we should not disturb at any case. In this case, what happened? DC shunt motor field is open. That is stator is under the visible position. So what will happen? Field will affect. Field affect means the flux will affect. Flux affect means what will happen? EMF will affect. EMF affect means torque will affect. Torque affects means the speed will affect. That only they are saying the motor will attain a dangerous high speed condition. The same explanation only they have given in the paragraph. Take a look for a while. Next question. Which of the following DC motor have the tendency of load instability? If you are increasing the load, this will lose the stability. What motor? These and all general knowledge question. Differentially compound motor, it loses the instability, it loses the stability. Once you keep on increases the load, what will happen? This differentially compound motor will lose the stability. The reason for using starter while starting of DC motor, as I already explained what is starter, we can directly move on to the explanation. To restrict armature current, as there is no back EMF at starting. Yes, at starting we won't have punching back or counter EMF. So in order to avoid high inrush current, we need what? We need starter. Hope these MCQ questions will be useful. My explanations will be clear. Any doubt you can ask me now. Any clarifications, any queries, you can ask me now. If it is not there, we can continue in the next class with the DC motor. Then we'll have transformers, MCQs. Practice these questions. We'll send you the link in the group. Thank you so much. We'll end up this session.